Terminator Genisys, guys, welcome back to my review. Now, I went into this movie cautiously optimistic. I wasn't mad on the second trailer, but I had loved the first, and despite that big plot twist that was revealed, I was willing to give the movie a chance because I love the originals. But I'm really sorry, guys, this film is in no way a worthy successor to the originals, nor does it improve upon Terminator 3 or Salvation. In fact, purely as a film, it's worse. The plot basically revolves around, it's set before the 1984 original. In the future, John Connor sends Kyle Reese back in time to protect his mother from Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator. When Kyle Reese arrives, he finds Sarah is in fact already a battle-hardened warrior and not the waitress he was told to expect. That is because time has in fact changed, and not only has time changed, the actors have changed. She's not Linda Hamilton, folks, she's Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones. Arnold Schwarzenegger, or a really old T-800, has been protecting Sarah all her life as her parents were killed by the T-1000. Arnold doesn't know who sent him back in time to protect Sarah as his memory has been erased. From there, everyone jumps to 2017 to stop this app called Genisys launching because it's Skynet, and of course they are going to be stopped by the new Terminator, which is completely ruined in the trailers. It is in fact John Connor. Yeah, lads, this plot really is very hard to talk about and really makes no sense at all. I'll go into that a little bit more later. The first third of the movie is actually really great and really is just as good, or almost as good as Cameron's originals. We get some great recreations of scenes going different ways from the original. We even got the T-1000, who's played by a very famous Asian actor, and he does a really, really good job. It's really, really good. The battles at the start are brilliant and give you some insight as to what happened right before the events of the original film. And it's just really, really great, very Cameron-esque, and I really, really liked the start. And I was sitting back and saying, you know what, this could be good. Then suddenly the movie takes several bullets to the head, or at least the writers did, and the movie's plot melts away just like the T-1000. From there, the plot just makes no sense whatsoever. They all suddenly jump to 2017 to stop an app called Genisys launching. Genisys is kind of this new timeline's version of Skynet, and basically it links everyone's smartphones and computers together, and when it launches it is going to destroy the world, same as Skynet, but it just makes no sense. It's just not explained well. Also, the big reveal of the new Terminator, which is John Connor, is spoiled in the trailers, and it's really bad, folks, to be honest. It just isn't good. The Terminator kind of keeps John's personality. It kind of is John. It's just not good, is the only way I can say it. Arnold Schwarzenegger is back, and that is the big draw of this film. And yes, it is actually great to see him back, and he does a really good job. He could play this role in his sleep by now, and he's more of a parent figure to Sarah, but it's really good for the most part, except for some really annoying comedy. But good God, Arnold, you've let yourself go. I know, I'm only kidding. In all seriousness, folks, he does a great job in this film. Yeah, we have Emilia Clarke playing Sarah, who does a pretty good job for the most part. Now, the dynamic is very different. She's not the battle-hardened warrior. She was rescued as a child by the T-800 and raised. He's been protecting her all her life. So she's kind of in between being a nice person and being the battle-hardened warrior, Linda Hamilton was, sorry. So she does a pretty good job, and I wouldn't object to seeing more of her, but she's in no way as good as Linda Hamilton. Jason Clarke does a fairly good job as John Connor for what we see of him. Nothing great, and I don't buy him as a big resistance leader. But we have to talk about Jai Courtney, folks. Look, it's not that he's a bad actor. He's actually does a fairly okay job. It's just the fact he's really, really bland. And in no way does he bring across the intensity that we got from Michael Biehn. He's just a big buff action hero. I mean, Michael Biehn's original Kyle Reese was so much better. He was grizzled. He looked like he was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. He was very intense. It was just a really, really brilliant performance and completely sold the idea in the original that this is a man from the future. And it didn't make it seem silly at all. But instead of this wonderful performance, we get abs. That's right, folks. For whatever reason, Kyle Reese is incredibly buff. But, why does this make sense? It doesn't make sense, is what I'm trying to say. Kyle Reese is supposed to have grown up all his life eating rats in a post-apocalyptic world. It just makes no sense. Well, really, it makes about as much sense as this whole movie's plot does. Really, folks, the action is also fairly lackluster in this film. Actually, once again, the great action is all in the first third. We get a really great sequence with the T-1000 jumping from, car to car. It's just really cool. But from there, the action is all fairly awful. The whole scene with the bus is really lackluster. It's all very CGI heavy. Not that I'm completely against that, but it just feels lazy, a lot of the action. Also, the climax makes no sense. They're using the time machine to destroy John Connor, the Terminator, but it's just not explained. Overall, guys, despite having a really great start, Terminator Genisys is once again an awful film, and yeah, is in no way a worthy successor to the original.